Hello, my dear students. Again, I have appeared in front of you just to discuss how to frame questions. Because during the conversation or any kind of dialogue, I have noticed that many of the students or many of the participants use bad English and their construction is wrong. And that is why you should know how to frame questions. Otherwise, you will not get the correct answer. Thank you, my dear boys and girls. Please listen to me very attentively and carefully. Suppose I am dealing with how. Number one, just follow me. There are 5 kittens in the bush. In the bush. There are 5 kittens in the bush. I want to know the exact number. I want to know the exact number. Okay? Now, how will you frame the question? How will you frame the question? So, when the noun is countable, you must use many with how. Okay? It is in the present form. So, your question should be, what should be the question? How many kittens are there in the bush? Okay, note of interrogation. You see that many of us make a tremendous mistake by omitting there. Usually we say, how many kittens are in the bush? No. You will have to write, how many kittens are there in the bush? Okay. Don't confuse. Don't make any mistake. For example, number two, 5 children were playing in the garden. Full stop. 5 children were playing in the garden. The owner of the garden was absent. Okay? Suppose you have been asked to frame a question with how. With how. Then children are also countable noun. So there is no problem. And it is in the present continuous tense. You will have to follow the tense of the sentences given. Clear? You see that it is in the past continuous tense. Then how will you frame the question with how? How many children were playing in the garden when the owner of the garden was absent? Question. How many children were playing in the garden. How many children were playing in the garden when the owner of the garden was absent. Note of interrogation. Clear? You see that how many plus subject plus auxiliary verb plus principal verb. Clear? And in the above construction, you see how many plus subject plus here are is actually acting as the principal verb. Okay? Here are is actually acting as the principal verb. Verb plus there in the field. Here you will have to use there because in your sentence there is there. Okay? Now let us come to the third question. Third question. 5 ducks. You know what is ducks? 5 ducks were swimming in the pond. 5 ducks were swimming in the pond. Full stop. Mrs. Bose was standing on the bank of the pond. Suppose you have been asked to frame a question with how. So here ducks are also countable noun. So you may easily use many. So how many ducks were swimming in the pond when Mr. Bose was standing on the bank of the pond? Clear? Now question. How many ducks were swimming in the pond? When Mrs. Bose was standing on the bank of the pond. Okay? Note of interrogation. Now what is the answer? Answer is 5 ducks. So question should be framed in such a manner that the answer is hidden within the sentences given. Generally in the competitive exams, in WBCS, in PSC, in SSC, etc., in miscellaneous and in many other exams throughout the world, framing WH question is a vital topic for all the students, for all the competitors. Clear? So you see, you have used how many? Then subject ducks, then auxiliary verb were, then principal verb swimming. Okay? So question should be framed in such a manner that the answer must be found out within the sentences given. Clear? Question number 4. For example, I am dealing with how many? I am dealing with how many? For example, 10 girls, 10 girls danced at a time on the stage. On the stage. 10 girls danced at a time on the stage. We were sitting in the hall. Suppose you have been asked to frame a question with how. So, you know that when the noun is countable, you will use how many. So, 10 girls. So, how many girls danced? Not did dance. How many girls danced? It is in the past form, not in the past continuous form, past indefinite tense form. How many? Question. How many girls danced at a time on the stage when you were sitting in the hall? We means here the spectators, that means you will have to use you. When you were sitting in the hall. Not of interest. So, how many girls danced? The answer is 10 girls. How many girls danced at a time on the stage when you were sitting in the hall? Instead of we, here the subject is you, because when you are asked, what's your name? What's your name? My name is such and such. So the question should be in you, second person. So the answer is I. Where do you live in? I live in Kolkata. I live in Kolkata. I live in Mumbai, etc. Clear? Now come to fifth question. How many? Question number 5. A political meeting was held in the Maidan. Maidan is a large field. It is in Kolkata. A political meeting was held in the Maidan. Innumerable people, okay, I am omitting innumerable. Near about 10,000 people, gathered to listen to the leaders. Suppose you have been asked to frame a question with how. Okay? Now how many people gathered? Near about 10,000 people. Clear? So what should be the question? The question should be, how many people gathered to listen to the leaders in the political meeting held in the Maidan? Okay? Please write it down. How many people gathered how many people gathered to listen to the leaders in the political meeting held in the Maidan. That means which was held in the Maidan. Note of interrogation. Then what is the answer? Near about 10,000 people. How many people gathered? How many plus subject plus verb. Then how many people gathered to listen to the leaders in the political meeting held in the Maidan? That means which was held in the Maidan. This is. Now question number 6. Okay. For example, I purchased 5 guavas. I purchased 5 guavas for the family members. Suppose you have been asked to frame a question with how. Then how many guavas? Now write down the question. How many guavas did you purchase? Not you purchase. How many guavas did you purchase for the family members? Okay, note of interrogation. Then what is the formula? You see, how many plus here guavas is not the subject but object. Who purchased? You. Okay, that means I have already given you the example. If you are asked with, what's your name? My name is such and such. Where do you live? I live in. So here subject is I, the question should be you. And guavas is the object and you is subject, and that is why you will have to bring the auxiliary verb. And the auxiliary verb is in the past form because the principal verb is in the past form. Clear? So how many guavas did you purchase for the family members? So I have dealt with how many today, and the next day I shall deal with how much. So that's the end of my lecture tonight, and I end here again advising you that COVID has not yet taken farewell, and that is why stay fit, stay safe and stay mellow. Study hard and try to learn. And if there is any question, please ask. Okay? Thank you. Good night. And don't forget to subscribe my channel my dear boys and girls. Okay.